everybody. It's Dr. Carmen Bryan. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for being so patient, and I apologize for Sunday. I don't know what was going on with the cable company. This is like the third or fourth time that they were not shutting down, but like having glitches in the connection. So I'm going to try to make sure that this doesn't. I'm just stuttering. I must be excited to see y'all, but I'm going to try to make sure this does not happen this Sunday, because just as frustrating it is for you guys, it's frustrating for me because it's interrupting my thoughts. You know, I'm having to stop in between my thoughts, and I know you guys are waiting for information, but don't worry. The video that I did, the live that I did on Sunday in reference to the imposter syndrome, I'm going to do it again, but I'll do it where I'm going to do a pre-recording and then release it, because that live, I mean, it was two parts of it. So you guys go look at the two parts, and I really apologize because it kept freezing up, and I hate that because I had to stop my thoughts to go and fix something that should have been fixed. So I apologize, you guys. I'm going to fix it though. But today I just want to come in and bring you guys some encouragement before you guys start the weekend off. And, you know, listening to a lot of my clients and listening to people when I talk to them, or people that share their stories with me, so you guys know I hear this all day long, every day, right? You know, but listen to stories. I see, some of the things that get under our skin, those of us that help those that are in these situations, other coaches, mental health providers, those of us that understand what narcissist abuse is, people like the advocates that I work with, or people that, educate about it as well. Some of the things that we hear over and over again, which is so disrespectful, is to hear that most of you guys are getting, and most of us have, so I'm in that group, and so are they, that you get re-victimized with the flying monkeys, the court systems, the mental health professionals, the doctors. You go into the mental health, in a mental health setting, especially if you're going with the narcissist. Well, if you're going with the narcissist, you already know that they're trying to blame everything on you. They want the therapist to change you, to make you compliant to them, to make sure that you fall under their control. So to come into marriage counseling or couples counseling with a narcissist is just really a matter of trying to convince the counselor to make you fall back into your old pattern, or get you back into control. So it's really, it becomes pointless. It's pointful, if that makes sense, for the abused, but for the abuser is kind of pointless. And this is one of the main reasons why I have stopped seeing couples. I see, and I basically work with a lot of the survivors, or people that are in the situation. But the hardest thing is because of the fact that the narcissist goes into a counseling session and mesmerizes the counselor too. Gets in there and they're on their best behavior. They smell good. They look good. Well, that's how you got caught up. And so when they get into these, in the offices with these mental health providers, counselors, doctors, or psychiatrists or psychologists, they're getting in there and they're doing the same thing they do with the client, or with the loved one, or the wife, the husband, the children. And so what makes you think that when they get into counseling, they're not doing the same thing to the counselor? And sometimes, counselors are human. Well, not sometimes they're human, but counselors are human beings as well. And so they get caught up in some of this scenario. Some of them are well trained where they can pick up on this manipulative behavior and they hold themselves back. But some counselors get caught up into this manipulation and this charm that this narcissist brings into the counseling center. So the sad part about it is here you have a victim that has been being victimized at home. They get into counseling, and then all of a sudden the counselor is caught up in what this abuser is saying, and how much that the abuser is the victim, that the therapist becomes biased. They're more for the abuser. So now this client feels, or some of you guys feel, you go into these counseling, what is the point of me going to counseling when every time I get in there I get blamed for it, or it gets played down? My abuse gets played down. I'm telling you what's happening. I'm finally saying something for the first time. And the first time that I say something, nobody believes me, to include professionals that are supposed to know what is going on when it comes to abnormal psychology or domestic violence, and now that we're being educated about it, narcissist abuse. So it's out there, and you let those therapists know you need to go get some training so that you don't keep running. You're re-victimizing the victims. You're re-victimizing, and some of them play it down like, oh, she's always playing the victim. This is what the narcissist do. She's always playing the victim. He's always playing the victim. You guys have to pay attention to that therapist. licensed mental health counselors, social workers. You pay attention when a person is playing down the other person's reality. If you work with them long enough, you'll be able to pick up. You can tell, who's dominating the therapy session, but they're being re-victimized again. Don't let anybody downplay your experience. Now, there are some people, that also, and I think somebody that was on YouTube made the comment. I wanted to address it as well. That made the comment that, somebody was on Clubhouse and said that narcissists are not abusive. They're not physically abusive. They're not abusive. Child, let me tell you something. Now, see, I had to get country on you there. Child, let me tell you something. You listening? Not all narcissists are physically violent. Not all narcissists are physically abusive. Remember, some of them are cerebral narcissists as well. And some of them, as they're going up the scale of narcissism, the low, medium, large. So the lower mid-range to high range, some of them have determined that physical abuse is not as effective as mental abuse and manipulation. I can mentally abuse you, and the scars that I can leave in your mind, the deposits I can make in your soul last longer than physical pain, than physical scars. And so some of them have learned to switch up the game. So instead of physically abusing you, they mentally abuse you. And if someone is playing it down by saying narcissist, or they just try to throw it, to kind of throw that word out there, narcissists are just really self-absorbed individuals. I think that's what someone said. They're self-absorbed people. They're just really arrogant. And no. Narcissistic personality disorder is a personality disorder. It's a mental health disorder that you can find in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Health Disorders. It is considered a mental health disorder. It is a personality disorder. Y'all, I was getting excited, but it is a personality disorder. It's a mental disorder, and it starts out usually in a young age, and if you don't interject in a young age, it gets worse and worse with time. So older that they get, the worse it gets. And then the behaviors of them, you have to remember, they're not normal people. They have abnormal thinking, abnormal behavior. And I hate, when I hear people say this, oh my gosh, the flying monkeys. Some of you guys have been abused. These people, they can't control themselves. They can't control themselves. They can't help themselves. Okay, check this out. How is it that they can't control themselves, yet when they get out in the public, they're the most charming, sweetest. They don't abuse nobody. They don't cuss nobody out. Every now and then the mask will slip, but they know how to behave in public in order to get what they want, in order to work in certain fields that they want to work. They won't mess up their careers. They won't do, I'm not talking about the low range. Low range will tear up everything. But I'm talking about the mid range to the high range, and they know how to maneuver. But then when they get home, all of a sudden they don't, quote unquote, air quotes, don't have any control. No, they have control. They know when to do it, when not to do it. They have grown comfortable with the people that they have abused at home. The people that they have abused at home, families and children and wives and husbands and whoever, dogs, cat, birds, worms in the backyard, they know that they can get away with it and no one's going to say anything. And that they can say sorry as many times as they want to, but no one has educated the people that are in the relationship. And when the person in the relationship, situationship, starts getting educated, they can sense when they're losing control. So they lock down on that control. But yet when they get out in public, you have the flying monkeys, the best friends. And I've heard these stories all the time and they'll look at the children that have been abused by this narcissist, or they look in the face of the spouses that left these narcissists and say, you are a liar. I've been knowing this person for years, sometimes less than what you've been knowing them, because you've been knowing them more. You were in a situationship with them, but I've been knowing them, and they're a respectable and great person. And I don't know what so the kids are being re-victimized. The spouses or the ex-spouses or the ex-girlfriends or boyfriends or whoever are being re-victimized because you have these ignorant flying monkeys that I don't know what they're gaining out of it. Some of them do gain stuff out of it. They're falling down and worshiping their hero, their God, and they're telling you in your face that you have not been abused. You are a liar, because they're going by the story, the narrative that narcissist has told them. So they're telling people you're a liar. You're the one that's crazy. They're going by a one-sided story and don't know what's going on in your house. Y'all, let me tell you something. You're more powerful than that. You don't have to fall into a trap of a flying monkey. You don't have to pay attention and argue with them. Let them argue with themselves. Pick and choose your battles wisely. Let the ignorant stay ignorant. Number one, if that flying monkey is telling you no, that's a respectable person. I've heard this story too. That's a respectable person, and I've been knowing them for years, and this is a great individual. Number one, you must be a narcissist as well. Number two, you're a flying monkey. You're getting something out of the situation. Number three, you ignorant. We can go ahead and say that you ignorant just means you lacking knowledge. Number four, that is your God. You're bound down to your God. We don't worship the same God that you worship. And since you want to bow down to that narcissist and somehow that narcissist has control over you, then you do you, boo. You do you. I don't know what number I'm on, how many fingers I got up, 5 or whatever number I'm on. If you agree with their behavior, or number one, you're probably doing the exact same thing. Birds of a feather flock together. My daddy used to always say, hang with dogs that got fleas, you're going to get fleas too. So if you hang with dogs that got fleas, you're going to have fleas too. And birds of a feather flock together. Well, eagles fly alone, but all them other birds, them geeses and gooses and ducks and stuff like that, and whatever birds are up there, they fly together in a flock. Okay, crows are in a murder. So crows are not flocks. Crows are in a murder. But at the same time, don't you let anybody tell you what your experience is and is not. Now, if they're downplaying it and making it seem like this is just a person that's just arrogant and self-absorbed, that is not a narcissist. They're probably with a childish, immature, underdeveloped, toxic individual. But if you have been with a narcissist and you know and you can relate to the videos that you have been watching, don't you let anybody play that down. Don't you let anybody tell you your truth, because you have lived in a situation with that individual, whether it's your parents, whether it's your loved ones, whether it is the person that you were married to, you were dating, whatever it was. You know your experience, and don't you let anybody tell you what your experience was or wasn't, because that's what you're accustomed to hearing when you're dealing with a narcissist. And the narcissist is always telling you what your reality is and isn't. It's called gaslighting. They're always telling you what's truth and what's not truth. What is your reality and what is not your reality. Just because they don't see it that way, you shouldn't see it that way. Or if it's not true to them, then it's not true to you. So that's not the way you live. You know what your truth is, and you know what your truth is, and you know what it is that you went through. Don't you let anybody tell you any different, and then pick and choose your battles wisely. You don't have to argue with everybody. If they say that your name is Momo and you know that your name is Shaniqua, then doggone it, your name is Shaniqua. You ain't got to sit there and argue with somebody. If somebody tells you that you 5'12" and you know that you 5'7", why are you gonna sit there and argue with them? Don't waste your time. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your energy. You're getting mad. You're getting frustrated, and then you're so accustomed to fighting with this narcissist. You're accustomed to protecting yourself. You're accustomed to always having they get the last word in. You got to fight. Make sure you get the last word in. You got to make sure every battle is not yours. You got to think of the bigger war. That's why we're here on YouTube. You have those that are creators, those that are influencers, those that are coaches. That's why we take our time to teach you the behaviors of these individuals. And if you have watched any of these videos, me, Telsha, Eden Bird, Helen Sadler, your Destiny Helper, Dr. Les Carter, Dr. Romney, you have these people that you enjoy watching. You have the Honorable Bishop R.C. Blanks that brings it to you just like my mentor, my mother, brings it to you from a spiritual and a biblical perspective. And then you have a man talking about it, and he's talking to women about empowering yourself and getting your esteem up and knowing what your worth is, y'all. I'm telling you, you're more powerful than what you think you are. That's why the narcissist hates you, because when you get away and you start telling the story and you're exposing the lies, you're exposing what is hidden in plain sight. I said something, y'all. I need to take an offering plate. I got excited. Boy, I just wanted to come on and say something, you guys, to pump you guys up for the weekend. But I appreciate you guys being here. I didn't want to be here too long because I have a client getting ready to come on. Let me look and see if they're there. I have a client getting ready to come on, so I appreciate your support. Hey, listen, I am a guest speaker for a nonprofit organization called, hold on, let me go look. I have to go look at the flyer. I want you guys to make sure you go and register and support them. It is a nonprofit organization, and I'm looking for it. Give me a minute. It is called, you guys look it up. It is Rachel's Experience, Inc. And they're presenting Fruitful in the Come Up. It's free monthly virtual workshops. And if you go to Rachel's Experience Inc. on Facebook, you can register for the ladies. I am the guest speaker next Saturday, October 23rd from 8:30 to 10:30 Eastern Time. So that means if you're a Pacific Time, I think that's 5:30, and then Central Time, that's 6:30. So 5:30. 7:30, I think, 7:30 Central Time. But I know it's 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, 8:30 to 10:30 Eastern Time. So you guys make sure, go look at my you look at my YouTube channel on the community tab, go to Facebook and Instagram, and I posted there the flyers that are on there so that you can go and register. I think they said that the registration is full, but you can also email. When you email, I think they'll assist you in making sure that you will be there next week. So you guys go and support them. I'm been blessed to be the guest speaker. So you guys go and check them out. Go, friend them on Facebook, join them on Facebook. They do monthly workshops to empower women, and I will be the speaker for them next Saturday. So I thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure I was gonna snatch my hair off, but make sure you go and not register, but go and subscribe to my channel. I am Dr. Carmen Bryant, overcoming narcissist abuse. Make sure you go and share my channel, share my post. Somebody needs to hear this today. Somebody needed to hear this for the weekend. You hear me? And it was just on my mind. I was just ready to come on the camera and talk to you guys, because I hate when I hear what I'm hearing, because I understand I've been through it too. And I hate for people to look you in the face and say, that is not true. That you a lie. That's not what you went through. Bruh, you haven't even been there. That's how the kids say it, right? Bruh, you weren't even there. So how do you know? You weren't in my house. You know them from in the street. So if you know them in the street and you're telling me that they're a great and wonderful person, what does that say about your character? Either you're doing the exact same thing, which most of them are. You are a flying monkey, so you are mesmerized by them too. They got control of you too, and you can't think for yourself because you're ignorant. You're lacking knowledge, or you're weak. You're weak. And then on top of that, that means that you're a victim, just like I was a victim, right? Or you're a survivor. But if you're a victim at the time, but in that case, that means that you are a victim. You are a victim of their abuse as well. It's just the abuse that is sustained at home is different, sustained for a flying monkey. But you are mesmerized, and you are pulled into that power and control wheel. You are mesmerized. You are, what else are we looking for? Tantalized, mesmerized, hypnotized, whatever you are. That flying monkey. I can't do the wings. But you guys stay empowered, stay encouraged. Listen, if you guys need coaching, you can contact me at Dr. Carmen Bryant at Outlook.com. If you're outside the state of Washington, I do coaching. If you're inside the state of Washington, I do provide counseling. There is a difference. Coaching you to where you're trying to go versus counseling, mental health counseling, which I only do in the state of Washington. And then you just contact me at the same email address, Dr. Carmen Bryant at Outlook.com, so I can find out what insurance you have. Or if you are out of state and you want coaching, I will provide you with my coaching fees. Now, for those of you that want to look for a counselor within the different states, you can go to a sponsored link for me, BetterHelp.com. You get therapy. I'm sorry, BetterHelp.com/Dr. Carmen. Therapy, counseling is the same thing, but the choice of words is therapy. They provide therapy, licensed therapists within the United States and in Canada. If you go to betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen, you'll get a 10% discount. And then on top of that, if you're having financial issues, you let them know and they may provide you with a grant. That doesn't mean it's free. That just means they'll help you. And the fees are low as it is. And the what I charge for counseling is way more than what they charge for counseling. I'm telling you, way less. So I wonder how they do what they do, because I know what I have to do to maintain my business. But they are offering nominal fees. Low fees. That means low fees. And especially if you hit my link, you use betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen. And then when you ask the questions about counselor, ask them, do you understand PTSD, complex PTSD? Do you understand long-term psychological abuse and the effects of it? Physiological, psychological problems that, what happens with the family, trauma bonding. Use the terminology. Don't say, do you understand narcissist abuse? No, break down the terminology, because a lot of us knew the terminology. We just didn't know that's what it was, and we had to put 2 and 2 together. But they have training out there for counselors now. So betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen, you'll get a discounted rate. No, it's not me that you'll get a counselor that's licensed within your state that you can do online counseling with. Nominal fee, doesn't cost very much. And I appreciate you all. I am so looking forward to talking to you guys this Sunday. I haven't got a topic yet, but thank you guys so much for your support. Go be great. That's how the kids do it, right? Y'all go be great. Have a great weekend.